Have you ever noticed how a plant on your windowsill seems to lean towards the window? We'll look at exactly how and why plants move, what is actually happening inside that plant that makes it grow in a certain direction. They don't have eyes or a brain to figure things out, so how on earth do they know where the light is coming from? And how do their roots always seem to know which way is down? Turns out, it's all down to a very smart chemical messaging system. It all kicks off with something called a stimulus. That's just a fancy word for a trigger in the environment. And for our plants, the two big triggers we care about today are light and gravity. And the plant's reaction, this directional growth, has a special name, a tropism. It's pretty straightforward. If the plant grows towards the stimulus, we call it a positive tropism. If it grows away from it, it's a negative tropism. Simple as that. And we can get even more specific. When a plant responds to light, it's called phototropism. Think photo, like taking a picture with light. And when it responds to gravity, that's gravitropism. Or sometimes you'll see it as geotropism, from geo, which means earth. So what's the secret ingredient making all this happen? Well, it's a plant hormone called auxin. You can think of it as the master growth controller. It's made right at the very tips of the shoots and roots, and its whole job is to tell the cells just behind the tip how much to grow and stretch out.
We're going to see exactly how you'd set up an investigation into phototropism.
We're going to have 3 identical Petri dishes, each with some damp cotton wool and 10 seedlings. Now, the only thing we're going to change, that's our independent variable, is the light condition. Dish A will get light from all around. Dish B will only get light from one side, and dish C will be in total darkness. Then we just leave them for about 2 days and see what's happened. Okay, so 48 hours later, it's time for the big reveal. What do we actually see? And this is the crucial part for your exam. Can we explain why it's happened? In condition A, with light everywhere, the shoots grow straight up because the auxin is spread out evenly. In total darkness, they also grow straight, but they'll be really long, thin, and pale. This is called etiolation. It's the plant desperately stretching to find any light it can. But look at condition B. That's the interesting one. The shoots have clearly bent right towards the light. So what's going on there?
Okay, this is the absolute key bit you have to remember. Auxin hates light. So when light shines from just one side, the auxin moves over to the shaded side of the shoot. This means you get a higher concentration of auxin built up in the shade. Now in shoots, more auxin means more cell elongation or growth. So the cells on the shady side start growing faster than the cells on the sunny side. And this uneven growth is what physically forces the shoot to bend towards the light. For our results to be reliable, we need to be sure that the direction of light was the only thing that was different between our setups. This is all about controlling the variables to make it a fair test.
So what else could mess with our results? Well, temperature is the big one, so all the dishes need to be kept at the same temperature. The amount of water has to be identical. We need to use the same number of seedlings in each dish, and they should all be the same type and roughly the same age. And of course, they all need to be left for the exact same amount of time. Get all those right, and you've got yourself a fair test.
How do we take all this knowledge and turn it into a perfect, full-mark answer when you're sitting in that exam hall? You are almost guaranteed to see a diagram just like this in your exam. It's a classic for a reason. They're not trying to trick you, they just want to see if you can explain that auxin mechanism we just talked about, step by step. To get all the marks, you just need to follow this recipe. It's a 4-step process. 1. State that auxin is produced at the shoot tip. 2. Explain that light makes the auxin move to the shaded side. 3. Say that this higher concentration of auxin makes the cells on the shaded side grow more. And 4. Conclude that this uneven growth causes the shoot to bend towards the light. You hit those 4 points, you get the marks. It's that simple. And there we have it, your complete guide to the phototropism practical. But here's a final thought to chew on. We've seen that in shoots, more auxin means more growth. But what about roots? They respond to gravity and grow down. How do you think that very same hormone auxin could cause the complete opposite effect in the roots? That's the next piece of this incredible puzzle.